opioids and that type of thing. But there's other drugs that's doing their due as well, that's bringing Kentuckians down.
Yeah.
And can I get your commitment today on the air? Can I get your commitment today? This has always been my platform.
Mm-hmm.
And Governor Steve Beshear, oh my goodness, he was such a sweetheart, because he promised me when I was Miss Plus America in 2012, I had a meeting with him, and I told him that the Kentucky Kidney Disease Foundation, that the state of Kentucky was at the very, very bottom of the list as far as awareness. I mean, there was more awareness of prostate cancer and other things other than kidney disease, whereas every 1 in 9 American has some type of chronic kidney disease, and they walk around, they don't even know it. And I know that's probably something that, you possibly may think of from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
And Governor Beshear, that's Steve, he promised me that he would do some things to bring that awareness up in Kentucky, and he did that.
Yeah.
But can I get your commitment today that will be one of the things? I mean, like, you don't get something for nothing. I mean, like, I really want this commitment from you. That, that will be one of the things that you look at. My mom died from chronic kidney disease. So many people die from chronic kidney disease as they wait for a kidney. And I was born functioning. I have both my kidneys.
Yeah.
But one is functioning, the other one is only at 2 or 3%. So I still have those kidneys inside of me.
Yeah.
You can live a prosperous, wonderful life.
I may be deaf, but my voice matters too. That's why this is important.
It is
so
important.
I'm committed to you, because that's the only way change is going to happen.
And as you know, Charles, my son is the oldest survivor in the world with his heart defect. So I've been fighting this battle for a very long time, and I know when you go to Washington, you'll increase funding for NIH across the board. That's one of the things.
Absolutely.
What's
We have
NIH?
National Institute of Health, and that's where most of the research is done in this country.
Oh, I knew that because I'm so
Yeah.
smart, but I just
That's
forgot.
Right. You do know that. And the fact that we have so many of the number one killers in the country, we are number one in those ratings, is terrifying. And we had done so much to get away from that. So I know that when I went to your first launch the other day,
Mm-hmm.
you talked about Medicare for All
Yeah.
and New Green Deal.
Yeah.
Now, in Kentucky, in those rural areas, how are you going to have those discussions? Because labels push buttons.
They do.
And so how are you planning to overcome that with people who would not normally be like us?
Yeah, well, you know what I've learned in a much bigger scale as a legislator is, first of all, you have to have the courage to have the conversation.
Right.
Even with conversations like on issues of racism,
Yes.
structural racism, things that I've been able to engage as a legislator, it's more about us not going into our corners and just accepting the political status quo and letting these narratives dominate.
Absolutely.
But pushing through that and saying, let me sit down and talk to you about, because the same thing with the Affordable Care Act, though some of the elements of allowing folks to stay on their insurance, parents' insurance, to 26 pre-existing conditions. When you talk to folks about those things, they overwhelmingly support them.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this right
Absolutely.
quick. So you believe that we should expand and make the Affordable Care Act, in case people didn't know this, Obamacare and Affordable Care Act are the same thing.
And
Okay?
Kentucky Connect is
And-
also the same
Same
That was
thing,
a shock
same
for
thing.
people.
But you know what? We're talking to all across the country. Whatever is in your state, look that up. But Obamacare and Affordable Care Act,
Yeah.
ACA, is all the same. So, a lot of these candidates for the Democratic nomination are saying Medicare for all. So, are you for Medicare for all, or are you for keeping the Affordable Care Act and making it better? Because these are some of the hard decisions you're going to make. And then
Yeah.
I'm also going to ask you, keep your mind rolling on this.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in the Senate today, would you vote to impeach Donald Trump? But let's do the health care
Yeah,
first.
let's
But I'm
let's talk
giving you
about- let's talk
I'm giving you a
about
little moment to think about that.
Oh,
You know.
Oh yeah, I already got my.
I mean, in case you needed a
No,
moment to think
um,
about that, you shouldn't. But hey.
So as far as on healthcare, the answer to both is by providing and standing for Medicare for all, you are building on the Affordable Care Act and making it better.
Well, why
there's a
don't
lot
they
of gaps
explain
in
that
it.
better?
Yeah,
Because I don't want to lose my private insurance.
yeah, and so the
Will I be able to
question-
keep that with Medicare for all?
So what the question that you have to really ask is, what is it that you're looking to keep? You're looking to keep your physician. You're looking to keep quality of care. You want better quality of care. Medicare for all allows all of that. It protects that. It actually makes sure that your physicians get paid, so you can continue to have the choice that you want. The conversation that has been pushed so far as, well, folks want to keep their insurance, has really been to divert away from the reality that we're getting robbed. Because no one should have to make a decision about whether they should keep the lights on or pay for medication they need. And even some of us that have insurance, are we getting the quality that we need for the health challenges that we face? Those are the reality, and the matter of, and so I have a law background. One of my focuses was bankruptcy early on during law school. Is that one of the biggest reasons folks file bankruptcy is for medical expenses. These are people that have insurance. And so it's a matter of not only keeping folks healthy, but allowing them to have more money in their pocket. And so that's the conversation that I look forward to having. And when you talk to folks from corner to corner and ask them, do they want more money in their pocket? Do they want to not only keep their physician, but have more access?
Is this going to cost me more in my taxes?
Well, there's nuances to how it gets paid. I mean, there because so much money is released on the top end, the wealthiest few have so many loopholes that by shoring up our tax structure and essentially saying that those who make the most contribute their fair share, you can close them.
We know Hillary personally, and she told us what this man was going to do. Okay, so you know what? They're telling me we're just about out of our time. We could go on and on.
We could.
Can we get you back on the show?
Bring me
I
back.
know you're going to be everywhere, but there's some more questions that I want to ask you.
Yes.
So you promise you come back?
I'd be honored to come back, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We do
Don't
have
be just
lots
saying
of
that because
questions.
we're gonna hold you to it.
That's
Please.
right.
State Representative, soon to be, hopefully, Senator Charles Booker from the state of Kentucky. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you. True honor.
Yes, it has been an honor. Three things cannot be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. As for myself and ANC, we'll see you next week.
Jones and ANC. Tune in every Sunday at 11 a.m. here on Power 106.3 FM.
Power 106.3 FM.